Good morning, students. Today we will start with the new chapter, chapter number 4, Agriculture, and let us start with the introduction. First point, the term agriculture has been derived from the Latin word ager, which means soil, and culture, that means cultivation. So when we club the two words, that is ager and culture, then the word agriculture is formed, where the meaning of agriculture is it is the art and the science of cultivation of soil and raising crops and livestock. So, this is the meaning of agriculture. It is the art and science of cultivating the soil and raising up crops and livestock. Now, to do agriculture, there are various factors which influence agriculture. So the various factors are number one is relief, second is climatic condition, third is soil, fourth is economic factors. So let us study one by one. Number one is relief. Point number A. Land on which the crop is grown is known as arable land. So the meaning of arable land is the land on which the farmer is growing his crop, that land is known as arable land. Point number B, the river basins, floodplains and delta. We have already learned that the delta or where the rivers are bringing and settling down their sediments, these places are very much suitable for agriculture. In the lowlands, dense population provide the cheap labor and ready market for the farm products. Now, there is one more condition where there is more of population. That means there will be more people. So, if we have a land over there, so there will be cheap labor. The people for the as a farmer will be more in number. So, we will get cheap labor and a ready market for the farm product. So the people will also consume the farming things. So we will get a ready market over there in the lowland region. Point number D, in the hilly area or in the mountainous region, the soil erosion is rapid. Second influencing factor is climatic condition. As we know that hot and humid climate is favorable for agriculture. Hot and humid means neither too hot nor too cold. So hot and humid climate is the best for agriculture. Point number B, cultivation is possible throughout the year in equatorial and tropical region. Equatorial region means the regions which are close to the equator, and tropical region means the regions which are close to the Tropic of Capricorn and Tropic of Cancer. Point number C. It is difficult to grow crops in winter, cold region and dry area. Why it is difficult to grow crops in the dry area? Because when the land is dry, if there is less of irrigation facility, obviously it will be very difficult for us to grow the crops. Similarly, in the winter and the cold region, because there will be less favorable conditions and the temperature will be too low for the plant growth. So, we cannot do cultivation during the winter season or in the cold region or in the dry area. Third point is soil. First, soil supply moisture and nutrient to the plants. We all have heard in our previous class that soil is the basis for the development of the plant and it is the best to provide the moisture or water and nutrients to the plant. Porous soil is soft and can be tilled easily. So porous soils means the soil which has a pore, which has a hole in it, so the transpiration of water, evaporation of water and soaking of water is very easily done in the porous soil. So it is very good for the plants. Second is the clay soil has the highest moisture retentive capacity. If you have seen the clay can hold the moisture, hold the water for very long. So it is the most high moisture retentive capacity, and we also we have also learned that alluvial soil is the most fertile soil, and alluvial soil we get from the sediments which are brought down by the river. So we have studied the relief, about the climatic condition, about the soil. Now we will learn about the economic factor. What are the economic factor? Number one is availability of farm inputs, inputs like tools, machines, etc. Then cheap labor, where there will be high population, obviously the labor will be cheap. Then the transport facility should be there, the market should be there, and the farmer should get the proper loans. Next is the main farm input: seed, fertilizer, machinery and labor should be available. So this is the economic factor. Now, on the basis of farming, there are at least 6 types of farming. First is subsistence farming. Second is intensive farming. Third is extensive farming. Fourth is shifting cultivation. Fifth is commercial farming. And sixth is plantation farming. In today's chapter, we will be learning about 3 types of farming, that is subsistence farming, intensive farming and extensive farming. So let us start with subsistence farming. Number 1, it's mainly for the need of the farmer's family. So subsistence family basically is done by the farmer and his family for their own need. So if they need to eat whatever types of crop they want to eat, and for their own purpose, for their own need, they grow such types of crop. So very important thing to know is this subsistence farming is done by the farmer for his own need. Second, the farmer use primitive method to produce crops. So whatever tools and equipments he is having at his home, he will use only those machines, those equipments, those tools to do the farming. He will not go out to look for a big machine because he is growing crops for himself. So he will use the basic tools and primitive methods for doing the farming. Next, he does not look into the suitability of the soil. So he will not see whether the soil is suitable for this crop or that crop. Whatever soil he is having, he will grow the crop in that type of soil, but he will add manure to the soil, he will add some chemical fertilizer to the soil to maintain the fertility of soil. Next, the laborers will be the members of the farmer's family. So he will not call any other people to come and work on his field, but his own family will be the laborers for his farm. Next, all types of manure and chemical fertilizers are used in the field. The production is very low. Why the production means the crops which is produced later on. So what happen if he is growing crops for himself? Obviously he will not grow lots of crops. He will grow little bit of crop for his own consumption. So the production will be very low and the farmer is poor and the standard of living is also very low. Because of this type of farming, the farmers are very much poor, and because they grow crops for their need, for themselves, they don't sell also much of crops. So because of this reason, they are very poor and they have a very low standard of living. Next is intensive farming. Here the farmers tries to get maximum output from the small plot of the land. Here we will see the land is very small, but in that small land also the farmer will give his maximum energy to get the output from the land. The farmer uses simple tools and abundant human labor. So because the land is small but people are more in number, so they will be using whatever tools they have at their home, and the laborers will be more in number. This farming is done in densely populated countries of the monsoon region. Due to the long growing season and fertile soil, the farmer is able to grow 2 or 3 crops annually on the same land. So what happens in the intensive farming, because there are more number of people and it is done mostly in the monsoon time and in the densely populated country, so they try to grow more than one crop. They try to grow three or two crops together annually. In 1 year they try to grow 2 or 3 crops per year on the same land. Rice is the important crop grown, and other crops which are grown are wheat, maize, sugarcane, pulses, and oilseed. So what is the difference between the substensive and intensive? Here in substensive, the farmer is growing crops for his own use, but in intensive, the farmer is growing crops in a small plot of land, and here the labors are more, and this is done in densely populated country. The last type of farming is extensive farming. This type of farming is practiced in sparsely populated areas. Sparsely means less populated area where the population is very low. In that area, the extensive farming is practiced. Now, when the people are less, obviously the land will be more. So, what will happen here? The land is abundant and it is available. Land holdings are large and farm work is done by machine, because here the people are very less in number and there is more of land. So, what will happen here? The farmers will be using big machines to do the farming. 1 or 2 commercial crops are grown. The important crops grown are wheat and maize, and the input is high. The input means they are giving their hard work, they are using machines, they are giving lots of money in that land, but the yield and production is very low. I hope this you have understood clearly. If still you have any doubt, please you can ask me in the comment section and I will explain you when we have the live classes. So this is for today. I hope that you all have understood it properly. With this, I am giving you one assignment. Please complete that assignment and submit it by time. Thank you and have a nice day.